Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple player spawning script in Unity 3D Engine. This script is the most basic and is probably just going to get you started. At the end I'll talk a bit more about some things you can add for more functionality, but as for right now, this will get the job done. I've already gone ahead and created a new 3D project in Unity and imported the character's asset to start. Just to give us something to work with, let's add a plane by going to Game Object, 3D Object, Plane, and create a new material over here in the project workspace, just to give it a bit of color. Just for the sake of it, add a little bit grass color and add it on. Okay, so normally any project that you're starting or working on, I would suggest organizing it into different folders, such as scripts, materials, prefabs, and so on. But just because for this project right here we're only going to have the plain material and scripts, I'm just going to leave them out and work from there. So from here we'll want to create a new C# script and just call it player spawning. That works. And then open it up in whatever editor you're using, MonoDevelop, Visual Studio, or whatever else you've attached to Unity. Alright, with this open, we already know a couple things that we need in this spawning script. So first we'll need the player, so we'll get that as a game object. We'll just call it player. Next we'll need the spawn points, and those will be as game object also, but we'll want those as an array, so I'll just call those spawn. If I can type today, that would help. Spawn points. Alright, so one of the functions we're going to have with this player spawning script is, because we have a spawn point array, we're going to have more than one spawn point. We're going to set up a different method that will randomly choose the spawn point that we're going. I guess not so random because we're using the Unity Engine random range, but as for right now, it'll do the job. So we'll just want a simple int, and we'll just call that chosen spawn. I cannot type today. Point. Okay. And we'll also want two things that we'll figure out later what they're for. A vector3, the spawn point position, and a vector3 of the spawn point rotation. Alright. So to get started, right in the start, let's initialize the player. You could easily go ahead and make the game object public and include it in the inspector. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That might be a little bit easier. Well, more simple. Keep it simple for this project. So I guess we will just grab the spawn point. So let's say spawn points equals game object find. So we're going to add a tag onto our spawn points, which we will create in just a moment. And let's call them, well, keep it simple, spawn point. Alright, so go back over into Unity. No errors, we're good. Okay, so over here in your hierarchy, let's right click. I'm going to create, just for the sake of visualizing it, a capsule. Normally you just create an empty, but for visualizing today, let's use capsule. Alright, so rename the capsule to spawn point. Drag it over into our project, create a prefab, and we'll want to add a tag. So just click the little plus, and we called it, actually I believe I copied it. Nope, no I did not. Spawn point. And just to make sure it's correct over there, I'm going to copy that, save, go to our prefab, and make sure to add it. If you add it over here in your hierarchy, make sure to hit apply once you change the tag. Okay, make sure we have it correct. Perfect. Alright, so just for the sake of, we're keeping it simple, but because I know you're probably going to expand this, we'll just start off with an if statement saying, if game object find game object with tag player. So this is just checking if the player is already in the scene. If the player is, we won't call this. If you want to load a scene on top of another scene and just merge them, you don't want this to start again, respawn your player, or simply if for some reason it were to run again, new level, your player's already in there. I mostly use it for debugging purposes. I don't know why I wrote spawn point in there. Just say spawn. Like for debugging purposes, normally I end up throwing the actual player in the scene while I'm debugging, and I don't want the spawning script to run while I'm debugging. Alright, so let's create the spawn. It'll just be void spawn. I don't believe we're going to use updates, so may as well get rid of that while we're at it. So to start off with, before we even spawn the player, we'll want to choose I cannot spell, there we go. Choose a random spawn point. So actually let's just go ahead and do random spawn point first. Random spawn point, go. Yeah, that doesn't have to return anything, so we'll say that's void also. So we've already declared chosen spawn point, so it's just going to be an int. So chosen spawn point will equal, we'll use Unity engine dot random dot range. Random range is, I believe, not supported anymore. It might still work, but random dot range does the same job. So we'll do from 0. So the first index of our spawn point array to the length of our spawn point array. So that'll get our chosen spawn point. So for the vector 3's, the spawn point position and rotation, we'll use those for instantiating the player. So we may as well set them here and say the position is equal to spawn point at the chosen spawn point dot transform position, and this one will be rotation. And there's my first mistake. Let's go up here and change the vector 3 to quaternion. There we go. So we'll go back over to spawn. Actually, Unity to make sure there's no errors. Assigned. They will. We'll ignore that for now. Okay, spawn. So now we can actually instantiate the player. We've already got the random spawn point. So let's say instantiate the object, so player at, thank you for auto-completing what I didn't want you to auto-complete, spawn point position, and spawn point rotation. Simple as that. So that'll spawn our player, and then depending on how you're using this, if you're coming from a GUI interface where your cursor is unlocked or anything like that, you can always add as an option is the cursor dot lock state and set that to the cursor.lock mode .locked. It gives you extra functionality. Just, you know, you spawn, you're in the game, done. I'll leave that there. It's not really needed, but as I said, it gives you room to expand on this. So let's go back over to Unity, give it a test. Okay, let's save the scene just to be safe. Let's just call it level 1, keep it simple. Okay, so this is our spawn point. Let's move that. Alright. Curious, can we? There we go. So keep it simple. Wow, it does not like copying and pasting today. Okay, so there's our spawn points. You can visualize them, you can see them. They're all tagged spawn point up here in the corner. Alright, so standard assets, because we imported the characters asset, we'll do first person and prefabs. Let's do the most important thing here, is actually attach our script into the scene. So create empty, just for the sake of this, script holder. I could have named that spawner, anything works. And let's go player spawning. Drag the player over. I believe they're already, oh, it's not pre-tagged player, so we'll want to pre-tag the player prefab. Let's leave it at that and see if it works. Okay, play. So we can already see the first person controller was not in the scene, and I just spawned. That works. Alright, so just to double check, first person controller is not in the scene. We have 4, and our player spawning script is on the script holder. As soon as we hit play, it finds, so we just spawned at that one. I have the box colliders turned on, so I just spawned to the side. It gives if you want to expand on the script, you could add a proximity check, so you're not spawning where there's other colliders, just so it stops you from getting, you know, stuck in one of these. Or if you have a full-on game, you don't want to get stuck in a tree, or if a player's sitting in the middle of a spawn point unknowingly, you can just check if it's full, go to another spawn point. You could make it more random. You can write your own random function instead of using the Unity engine.randomRange, and potentially add more spawn points just to give a good range of spawn points to choose from. Other than that, it's your imagination on where you want to expand to. That's it for a simple player spawning script. If you guys want an enemy spawning script, let me know. Those are not much of a change from this one. You could still make it more complicated with the check proximity and more spawn points. The only real difference of an enemy spawning script is your kind of enemies, and if you want it, you know, every 10 seconds and so on, it gives you a smaller change to the spawning function. Other than that, it's pretty close to the same. Alright, let me guys know. Leave comments in the bottom. Have yourself a good one.